Yo guys, what's going on? It's SEANO here, and today we're going to be going over everything you need to know for the release of Phase 2 in Classic Fresh. In case you didn't know, Phase 2 of Classic launches later tonight, and with it comes world bosses, the Diamond dungeons, and of course the PvP ranking system, which is capped at rank 11 in Phase 2. That said, Battlegrounds don't actually come out for another week, so I'll be doing a separate video covering everything you need to know for PvP, all the best builds, gear, etc, and that will be coming out in the coming days. Before we get started, if you aren't subscribed to me, please consider subscribing to me, as I do loads of Mage and Classic content. You'll definitely find value in my channel. As always, I have timestamps in the description, so if there's certain areas you want to look at, you can always skip ahead, but I highly recommend that you watch the video all the way through so you understand everything that's happening in Phase 2. First things first, obviously being a mage, this is the most important thing you need to do at the launch, and that is of course getting our new mage water. We've been stuck with level 45 water for a while, and wasting gold on mana biscuits hasn't been ideal. So the first thing you want to do is pick up your mage water quest. The quest starts in Diamond North in the library area. If you have the key, you can go and pick it up without aggroing anything, then go and kill the hydro spawn in the west for the essence. The whole thing is actually possible to do solo, but like I said, you'll need the key to get into the library, so you might want to go and pick up the key anyway. There's going to be loads of Diamond runs going on because it's a new phase, everyone's going to be doing it for gear, so you may as well pick up the key and the quest and do the quest whilst dungeoning. The next thing to talk about is the fact that PvP is out and you'll want to start ranking as soon as you can. As I said, I'll do a separate video for the actual builds, etc. But the reason why this is so important is because we want to get the PvP 2 set as soon as possible for raiding. This will be our best in slot, and depending on what spec you are, depends on which items you'll need. But generally the PvP 2 set is actually better than the Arcanist 3 set, so you'll want to do this as priority. You'll also want to start farming AV reputation as soon as you can, as the offhands are really powerful and last a long time into Classic. Finally, of course, the introduction of world bosses. The chances are that you or your group actually tagging the world boss and getting loot is incredibly slim, especially as we're just limited to 2 or 3 realms. It's probably best to just forget about the world bosses altogether, but if you do manage to do them, fair play to you. It's actually one thing I kind of enjoyed in Season of Discovery was the fact that they were instants, so everyone could do them, but I understand this is a big part of Classic, and the PvP and everything involved with world bosses is really fun. So now we're going to look at the new and updated pre-BiS sets with the introduction of Diamond and PvP. Starting with the Frost Phase 2 pre-raid best in slot. The Star of Mysteria is still the best for us, although now we have another option in Diamond with the Tempest Talisman, which gives us 1% crit. As Frost, the Star is still better as hit rating is rated higher, but it's nice to just have another option. If this drops, then obviously take it and then try and get the Star at another point. One thing to note is the beads of Ogre Mojo here, they're not actually in the game until the quest comes later on. Another change for Frost is the Exalted Warsong Gulch braces. Now they are the best pre-BiS option, but of course I don't expect you to get the reputation straight away. It does require Exalted, but yeah, they are technically the BiS, so they will make this list. Now the Tome of the Ice Lord is very good. This will last a long time, and it's from the AV reputation Exalted, which, to be honest, if we're ranking anyway, it doesn't take too long to get Exalted, so you can get this fairly quickly. Now obviously for the PvP 2 set, we'll always want to get the boots because of the 1% hit. The boots are actually an upgrade. Then we'll want to partner it with the legs. The boots you can get at rank 7, which you would normally partner up with the gloves, which you can also get at rank 7, but the gloves aren't the best in the world. But obviously do that until you get rank 8, and then pick up the legs. You should be able to get this combination within 2 to 3 weeks of ranking. Now for the Phase 2 Fire Pre BiS in slot, the Tempest Talisman is the best neck here, as we do value crit over hit as fire. We've also got the PvP shoulders here, which are also very, very good because we want that crit chance, as much crit as we can get as fire. Of course, they do require rank 10, which is one of the last items you'll get. So you'll have to get the 2 set from somewhere else. Again, the braces are in here. They are technically the Pre BiS, so I do include them. Once you've got your AV reputation to Exalted, you should start working on your Warsong Gulch reputation. Again, the Tome of Fiery Arcana, we will use this for a very, very long time. So try and get the AV reputation to Exalted as soon as you can. It doesn't actually take too long and you get a lot of honor as well. But since we'll be ranking, hopefully everyone is going into AV and the queues will be very short. Finally, as you can see, the boots here with the 1% hit are very, very good. Technically, Fire Striders are slightly better, but like I said, with the 2 set, we definitely want to use these boots. Now let's look at the new best in slot for Phase 2 for Frost Mage. Like I said before, your #1 priority here is incorporating the PvP 2 set. The best slots are the shoulders and the boots, but like I said, you'll want to get 2 set as priority, even if it means breaking your Arcanist set. So you'll likely start with the boots and the gloves, and then moving on to the boots and the legs, and then finally having the boots and the shoulders. But generally see what gear drops for you and mix and match as needed. The only other change we see here is the Tome of the Ice Lord comes in instead of the Sunken Temple offhand. Again, like I said, you just got to farm the AV reputation. If there's one thing you take from this video, it's that you'll want to farm AV as soon as possible. Now let's look at the Fire updated best in slot. For Fire, we're actually dropping the Eye of the Flame here. Only do this if you get the gloves of the Hypnotic Flame. Once you get these gloves, then you'll drop the Eye of the Flame because we want to get the set bonus from both the Arcanist and the PvP to maximize our DPS. Obviously, this is a best case scenario, but you want to mix and match depending on what drops for you. Again, the other change is the Tome of Fiery Arcana from the AV reputation. Now, finally, let's look at the no specific school. That means just having raw spell power, not tied to frost or fire. The PvP shoulders and boots are going to be the best option here for your PvP 2 set. We've got the new Amplifying Cloak, which drops in Dire Maul from Magister Calendrius. This is technically slightly better than the one that drops in Onyxia's Lair, but obviously the one from Onyxia's Lair does give us stamina and intellect, which is always nice. But either of these will work fine. But if you want to talk about raw DPS, then Amplifying Cloak is the best. For the offhand, it's the AV one. This one just gives 33 spell damage. It's not tied to a specific school, which is perfect for us. All of these changes will be updated into my spreadsheet, which I have a link in the description. You might want to bookmark it so you can stay up to date with all the best builds, etc. I know I've had a lot of feedback about this one for Phase 1 and people have really appreciated it, so they can just go to one sheet and see everything they need. So it's really good. Now I just want to briefly talk about PvP ranking and set bonuses. So I want to go through the fastest path for PvP and why the 2 set is actually the best in slot. So obviously when PvP ranking is released, you'll want to follow this path. If you follow this path, you'll get to the maximum rank within 4 weeks. So the first week you want to grind 33,750 honor. This will get you from rank 1 all the way to rank 4 with 60%. That's the most you can go in the first week. In the second week, you can go from rank 4 to rank 7 with 110,000 honor. So technically within 2 weeks, you can get the PvP set bonus, which is really, really good. Then in week 3, you'll want to go from rank 7 to rank 9, which will require 257,000 honor. So at the end of week 3, you will have access to all of the options apart from the shoulders and the head. And then in the 4th week, you can go absolutely insane on PvP, go from rank 9 to 11 with 418,700 honor will get you there. Obviously, getting 33,750 honor week 1 on a non-PvP server is going to be a little bit tricky because the BGs aren't out yet. So you may want to start this once the BGs are out, but you should at least try and get 15 HKs, but it's not going to make too much of a difference. It's just going to reduce the honor ever so slightly. Now, talking about the set bonuses. So at rank 7, the boots and the gloves become available. The boots are very, very good because they give you a 1% chance to hit, while the gloves are not the best in the world. Either way, once you hit rank 7, you'll use this combination just to get the bonus. Then the following week at rank 8, the chest and the legs are available. At this point, you'll likely swap in the legs for the gloves. But like I said, it's all situational depending on what your current gear is. Then finally at rank 10, the head and the shoulders are available. At this point, all pieces are available and you'll look to swap in the PvP 2-set bonus as efficiently as possible. The reason the 2-set bonus is so good is because it's 23 spell damage. A lot of people overlook this, but remember, 23 spell damage is worth 23 points. And that's far greater than any loss you'll have swapping them in, especially for boots, which will be a nice upgrade in most cases. So I'll just do an example for you right here on the screen. Let's say we've got the boots and we need to swap the pants in. If we swap the pants in here, we will lose 11 points, which is obviously not great. But if you look at the set bonus, you'll gain 23 damage, which is 23 points. So if you swap them in, actually it's a 12-point gain, and a lot of people don't realize that. So yeah, that set bonus is a priority. Hopefully that makes sense. Another thing that comes out with Dire Maul is, of course, tribute runs. If you don't know what those are, then look up a guide online. But generally what it means is to run the instance, skipping certain bosses and not aggroing them. So at the end, you can talk to them and get a buff. The reason this is very, very good is obviously you can boon these buffs and take them into the raid. So we've got Moldar's Moxie here, which is 15% stamina, which is really, really nice. You've got Fungus Ferocity, which is 200 attack power. And you've got Slip Kicks Savvy, which gives you a 3% crit chance with spells. Obviously, this is the big one for Mage, but you'll obviously want these world buffs for the raid. So depending on your opinion on world buffs, these are very, very good to use. In summary, Phase 2 adds more options for us and of course brings out PvP, which in my opinion is one of the best things to do in Classic, and it's been a real struggle without BGs to farm. Let me know down in the comments which part of Phase 2 you are most looking forward to. I just want to say a huge thank you for watching this video and have a lovely day.